Hello everybody and many greetings from Barcelona, where today it's very cold. It's even been snowing in some parts around Barcelona, and I guess it's cold everywhere in Europe. So finally winter has arrived, as we say. And I wanted to use this opportunity in this new episode of SBS TV to encourage you. This is the start of a new year, and we may have new perspectives, new plans, but at the same time the academic year keeps going and we may feel the weight out of it already. I was sharing with some volunteers, GBU, the student movement in Barcelona volunteers, on Monday, and we were talking about personal evangelism and how important it is to be models as we walk with students. And it was interesting, as the conversation went along, one of the graduates asked me and said, well, what happens when we have actually shared the gospel with our friends? We have made many conversations, and then what's next? What do we do next? And it was very cool to be able to actually say, well, have we ever thought of sharing the Bible with them? Have we ever invited them to study the Word with us? And there were quite a quiz looks saying, well, actually, no, we may have. We may haven't. And the academic year is going ahead, and maybe some of you are feeling this way. Well, it's going, time is going, and I still haven't had the chance to share and to invite my friends to a secret Bible study. I wanted to share with you some words from Acts 8. It's a story of Philip and the eunuch, and it's a familiar story, so I won't read through it. You may want to read through it afterwards. It's in the book of Acts, chapter 8, starting in verse 26 and on. And it strikes me again as I think of this, how Philip, the several characteristics we can learn from him. The first thing is that he was obedient. The word says that the Lord said to him, go south to the road, to the desert road. And then following it says, so he started out. So Philip was available. He was obedient to God's call to go. The second thing that strikes me, it's a bit further up in verse 29. It says, the Spirit told Philip, go to that chariot and stay near. And what we read next is, then Philip ran up to the chariot. So again, we see Philip, who was actually very aware and very warm to the Spirit talking to him. And he not only is open, he's also very excited about it, very passionate about it. He does it in a running mode. Then the next thing we read is that he approaches the chariot and he actually starts talking to this eunuch. And then he says, do you understand what you read? We read in verse 30. It strikes me, again, he's been very provocative. He's starting up the conversation. He's not just sitting there and thinking what's going to happen. He actually pushes on the conversation. And the next thing we see that actually Philip starts sharing the word with the eunuch. He starts sharing the good news out of the passage of Isaiah that the eunuch was reading. It strikes me that actually the only thing that happened really is that Philip just did it. He just invited this eunuch to read scriptures with him. It reminds me, it's often been very difficult for me, I have to confess, but it has striking me very close to my heart when actually I have just done it. I have just invited my friends and they've just said yes. This happened, as I shared with you, in November, when I asked my friend, do you want to study the Bible with me? And she said yes, and I was very surprised. But in any way, we are praying, we shouldn't be surprised what God is doing. So just let me leave you with some illustration of what I'm trying to say, just in case you still haven't got the point. You may be familiar with this. Yes, indeed, Nike. Just do it. Again, Nike, yesterday you said tomorrow. Again, just do it anyway. Witness. So I hope this illustration sticks in your mind and you just trust God to open up the opportunities. You make yourself available to God and you just go and do it. And may the Lord really bless you. I send you a big hug and looking forward to being in touch and to see you very soon. Bye-bye.